Hello and welcome to the Riser Virtual Cheese Awards 2025, showcasing the very best of British cheeses. My name is Cara and I'm moderating this session this afternoon, which is Class E1 White Mould Cheese. I'm joined by two industry experts as our judges, the wonderful Nikki Philp and equally wonderful Alan Kirby. I'm going to allow them to say a couple of words as to what they do every day and why we have chosen them as industry experts. Over to you, Nikki.
Hi, so I'm Nikki Philp from Harvey and Brockless. So I've been in the industry for 24 years. Lucky enough to work with all the many suppliers of cheese around the UK and producers, supplying it all into the food service sector of the industry.
You, Alan.
Hello, my name is Alan Kirby. I work for Booth's Grocers. I've worked for them for the last 30 years and I'm cheese and deli buyer.
Yes. Well, for those people who've never seen one of our class judging before, the judges will use a point system for scoring each of the cheeses against 4 different attributes. They are appearance, aroma, texture, and finally, and most importantly, flavour. The winning cheese will be the cheese with the most points, and they will go through and forward to the category finals, which will be on Tuesday, the 10th of June. We're just going to dive straight in, and our first cheese will be E11041. Alan, if you wouldn't mind holding yours up to the camera for us. And round the sides. Oh, thank you.
And mine's got quite a lot of, can you see that? A lot more browning around the mould.
Slight browning, but it's still got some of the lots of the original white mould, which is quite fluffy still on my product.
I was going to say it is quite fluffy, isn't it? Still,
it is. Yeah. So in terms of appearance, I mean, you know, it's slightly uneven, but you know, nothing untoward, nothing too concerning. You know, there's not lots of pink or brown markings on there, and the colour is relatively even. Look.
Yeah, likewise, mine is. But you're right, it's not even. Mine's sort of on a bit of a slope, as you can see, one end higher than the other.
And internally, the paste looks pretty good.
Oh yeah, it's nice and soft inside.
So
it feels quite heavy, actually, doesn't it? Quite dense.
Yeah. So it could have gone perhaps to be broken down a bit more, but appearance looks reasonably good. I mean, it's very uniform and no signs of discoloration there, really. I would give that a reasonably high mark in terms of appearance.
Agree. I think, you know, perhaps an 8. Think of
8 or 9. Yeah, happy with 8. Yeah.
Yeah, I think nice coloration. It's definitely mature all the way through. You haven't got any hard pieces, have you?
Oh, that's great.
It's got a nice smell to it, hasn't it?
Yes.
Does nice mean, Nikki?
Nice. Well, it's got a little bit of ammonia in the background, but there's a bit of sort of that sort of cabbagey, sort of mushroomy scent. The mushroomy is probably higher, isn't it, in the but there's quite a lot of cream, quite a kind of heavy, dense cream kind of smell going on as well.
Creamy, buttery, and no off tints in there whatsoever.
No, I'm looking forward to tasting this. This looks like a nice cheese.
Yeah. In terms of aroma, I mean, again, I would give that quite a high score, perhaps an 8 or so. I mean, that would be one that you would want to have more of.
Yeah, certainly from the smell of it, you definitely want to have more of it. It's covering the knife with a nice layer of cream. Texture, well, I imagine this is going to be silky smooth, isn't it?
Texture is quite spongy, and actually, you can see if you squeeze it, you can see the breaking down between the different layers there. So
can you tilt it a little bit more towards the camera, Alan? That's perfect. Thank you.
You see the way that's starting to break down. You can see that now, so that's good.
You can taste.
Lovely and creamy.
But that's just the cream. It's very unctuous, isn't it?
Very luxurious. Yeah. I would say that's got a super texture. I mean, I didn't think that I'd broken down enough to give such a velvety texture, but it is very good.
I thought it was going to be quite heavy, but it actually is a lot lighter than it sort of originally appears, isn't it, Alan?
Yeah, I would give that a high score for texture. I mean, 8 or 9 for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'd probably go 9 in texture. The only thing is the skin's a bit hard. The skin's dried out quite a bit, hasn't it?
It has, and you can see there's a bit of ingress on the top there, can't you?
So when I'm eating it, the outer is kind of coming away from the inner, isn't it? Because they're quite separate.
Oh, is it? Right. Yeah, so mine's not, you see. So mine is even. There's no sort of peeling off the outer rind there. So yeah.
I think the only critical point on this is probably the salting level. It is quite high on the salt, isn't it?
Would you say so?
I think it's a little high. Could just be less salt that I have. And we've also tasted cheeses which have been to this point quite light, haven't they, on the salting?
Expect quite a high level of salt in this sort of cheese anyway.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have said there was too much salt. It's not too salty, and I am very sensitive to salt. I wouldn't say there was too much in this one. Yeah, but very, very rounded, very balanced.
I do think it's balanced. I do think,
creamy, and
it's very creamy.
Yeah, and certainly there's no sense of grittiness in the mouth at all, which is not good for.
No.
Yeah.
And there's no unripe, centre or anything. It's nice cheese.
What do we want to give it for flavour, guys?
I think.
Yeah, 8 was where I was going to go. Yeah, 8 sounds about right.
Fantastic. What a great start.
Nice.
Good afternoon. How are you doing? How many have you done?
Just going to welcome Sarah, who's joined us.
How many have you done now? Are you going okay?
We're on to our second class of the afternoon, Sarah. So we're one into class E1, and we're moving on to E1 1043.
Brilliant. So have you had some good cheeses?
We've done fresh cheeses in the first category, so they've all been quite delicate and quite a differing array of products. Actually, some nice things. This category, what we've got ahead of us, certainly looks like there'll be some good things in it. So
fabulous. We've had some really, really lovely cheeses over the last few days. Fantastic cheeses. So I
believe so, yes.
Good.
This is feeling very runny, very soft.
Oh yeah, you can see it when you pick it up. The centre just goes dark. So.
It's definitely rippling below the mould.
So it could be overaged, this one, because you can see on the camera, you can see lots of browning around the edges there, lots of markings around both sides.
Yeah,
so,
I've got similar on mine.
I think it's been kept too long, but I think we need to cut into it to give.
I think it's going to run everywhere.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Might maintain a small area.
No, I mean, it is very ripe.
Oh, it's not going to run everywhere. Oh, but totally different to the last. Yeah, totally different to the last one, where you can see that the core still not broken down, can't you?
It is, but you can see on there. You can see it is starting to pull away from the rind. So I think perhaps it has been kept for too long, and it won't be too long before that does run over the board. In terms of appearance, it's been left for a bit too long, but again, we don't know how long it's been in transit, so I'd be happy to give it a 7, perhaps, for appearance.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think, yeah, it looks like it's a bit older, doesn't it? And yeah, I think probably could do with the white mould being a little bit more covered still over certain areas. It smells of the sort of ripening room still, doesn't it?
Mm.
Very much so. That sort of ammonia background.
Yeah, and aroma, I mean, I was expecting a richer aroma, which is just doesn't seem to be there with this one.
No, it's very much got that sort of ripening room sort of aroma in the background of it.
Yeah, perhaps a 6 on that for aroma for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think much more middle.
Is it different from the outside to the paste, or is it just the one smell?
It's all the way through. You kind of can smell it all the way through. I can't detect any difference on that sort of that aroma you get when you walk into a maturing room is all the way through.
Well, yeah, there is more in the centre of the paste, which you would expect, but yeah, there is a difference. I'm smelling a difference. So outside, yes, you get absolutely that maturing room aroma. Inside, there is more of a cheese aroma, but it's not outstanding. You would have to. It's not one that would pull you in as an aroma.
I think the other one's overriding it a little bit.
Yeah.
Texture?
Texture is very creamy, very buttery. And there's a good balance with the rind. So even though I think we thought it had been over matured, the rind very pleasant. There's no unpleasant harshness or crispiness to the rind, which is lovely.
No, the rind actually I think is a bit nicer on this one. It's not as dry, is it? So it sort of eats as much more part of the whole cheese.
Very
transition.
Yeah, very silky, very smooth.
Yeah, it's got a nice the runniness is really coating your mouth.
I would score it high on texture.
I think the texture is nice. I think the core breaks down nicely in your mouth as well, doesn't it? It's not too dry. It's well balanced.
Yeah, and again, it's not it's not sort of running all over the place inside. So that's a positive.
Yeah, it's holding together.
Yeah, I'd be happy to give that an 8 or a 9 for texture. It's good.
Yeah, I'm happy with an 8. I think an 8 would be good for that. So I guess it's flavour then, isn't it? I think you are getting some of that maturing room coming through. But I think the creaminess is taking the edge off that slightly.
Yeah. There's certainly no unpleasantness to it whatsoever.
I was thinking we'd get a little more bitterness off the back of it, but there's a tiny bit, but not an overriding bitterness.
No, nothing unpleasant at all.
I think the texture is kind of that creaminess of the texture is working quite well with that, isn't it?
Yes, and it hasn't gone too far at all in terms of maturation. I think that's a well balanced, a well finished cheese.
Yeah, I think that's pretty nice. Do you think it tastes nicer than the one before? I think in a weird way it probably does actually. Or comparable to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd be happy to give that an 8 or a 9.
We're comparing the cheeses, but if you're looking at it as a measure of your scoring.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think 8, 9.
Yes, yeah.
Should we go in the middle, 8.5? We'll go with the half score. We haven't done that in a while.
Can I recap those scores for you. You've gone 7 on appearance, 6 for aroma, 8 for texture, and 8.5 for flavour.
Yeah.
Yes.
Going to move on to the next one, which is E1117.
Yes, this one struggled to get the paper off the cheese itself. So it's all very well stuck and sort of the two are blended together. It's a bit tricky, so don't know how.
I've had to peel the all the paper stuck to it. It's equally got quite a lot of mould going on the top.
Yes.
Feels the same, but I've got lots of green dots across the top.
Yeah. It's quite hard and dry, a bit misshapen as well.
Yeah, and the white mould, a lot of that has broken down. Mine's very brown.
Yes, it is very uneven, and you can see sort of, there's lots of, moisture spots on the top there, and again, and you've got lots of brining on the bottom there. So
yeah, we wouldn't really expect to see that, would we?
No. Well, it hasn't been turned, has it? I mean, it's a bit of don't want to say elephant's foot because it's not that style of cheese, but it hasn't. The top is much narrower than the bottom.
Yes. Okay, so appearance. I'm not sure we're sold on the appearance. Sorry. No. So I'd say we're probably in a 4-5 zone, aren't we?
5, yeah. I mean, this could be an amazing tasting cheese. So.
Just doesn't look amazing.
Go on to aroma next, guys.
Although going back to appearance, I mean, it's very even inside.
Yeah.
But
you can see
that it down a little bit for us, and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh,
you can see where it hasn't been turned because we've got the breakdown around around 3 sides and not across the top.
Nice and light and bright. So, what do we give it on the appearance, Cara?
You gave it a 5.
5. Push it up to 6, do you think, Nikki?
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, it does look better inside, doesn't it, than the outside?
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. I'll push it up to 6 then.
And aromas, light and fresh.
It smells very farmy. It's got that sort of musty, sort of farmy sort of smell to it.
More musty from the outside.
I think definitely the musty is coming from the outside. Definitely less so in the middle.
Yes, it is, but it's not an off taint, though, is it?
No, it's not a nasty one. It's just you can definitely smell the farm.
Mm. And again, not a lot of aroma with this one.
There's not a lot in the middle, is there?
No.
The scent is all coming from the outside.
Again, a 5 for aroma, would you say?
Yeah, agree. Yeah. I don't know which end to go with. Perhaps let's go with the middle.
So that gives quite a mouth cloying texture.
Oh wow!
I think given all the all the mold you're seeing there, the signs of aging on externally, I would have expected that to have broken down a lot more closer to the rind. So it hasn't. Yeah, it hasn't broken down as much as I would expect for that type, but
it's quite strong and quite filling, a full flavour, isn't it?
Yeah.
It packs a punch.
In terms of texture, it's quite hard for a soft white mold ripened cheese.
You expect it to be a bit moist than that, don't you? But it doesn't. In the middle, it definitely is much drier, isn't it? It's almost, it's like a croissant kind of texture in the middle, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's a bit of bitterness off the back of that as well. I think it's quite a punchy, full-on flavour, which I think is driven by that. Well, all the things that are going on probably on the outside of the rind. Quite salty as well. I keep using the salt word. Alan, is it salty for you or not?
No, it's not over salted at all. No. I mean, I'm just going back to the texture because we haven't scored the texture yet. So it is quite hard. Perhaps a 6, do we think? In the comment.
Yeah, 5 or 6. I'm happy with either of those. That's fine. I think there's just this massive amount of flavour on the flavour coming off the rind. I don't think there's much flavour on the actual inside.
Yeah, and in terms of flavour, I mean, it's not intense. It's chalky, but there's certainly not that nasty aroma of ammonia hitting the back of your throat or anything. It's not unpleasant, I don't think.
I just think no, I agree. It's not unpleasant. It's not. It's just quite full and quite impactful, and you've got that sort of rawness of that sort of farmy kind of nature. But I think if you eat the middle of the cheese without much rind, then it's a lot gentle. Obviously, it's all coming off the rind, all of the flavour and everything. If you just eat the end bit, Alan, without the middle bit, it's quite full on.
Have the middle of the definitely, you actually do get more salt if you just take the middle only. Yeah. See what you mean?
The salt is all on, and that's and it's kind of getting to that point where you can get that kind of bitterness coming from there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite surprised with the flavour. I mean, there's nothing unpleasant on the flavour. I'd give it, some middle of the road, maybe a 7 or something on flavour. Do you think?
Yeah, I think middle of the road, very much so.
Yeah.
Can I recap those scores for you guys?
Yeah.
Appearance, we've gone 6. Aroma, we've gone 5. Texture, we've gone 6. And then flavour, we've gone 7. Happy?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Nice biscuit as a break.
Don't blame you.
Charcoal biscuits are really nice.
Delicious. We're moving on to E11136, please.
Oh, wow.
Like that, oh wow.
Well, it's almost like a bowl. It's kind of flat. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. It's sort of flat on one side.
Yes, no, I thought this one hadn't been turned enough when I opened it, but actually that's the shape it looks like.
I think it's supposed to be like that.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Very unusual.
That is unusual.
It is quite attractive as well. So it is even all the way around. Could you? Yeah, it is even the whole way around in terms of.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it had some sort of a pattern on the top, but it certainly's got that mottled appearance if you look down on it. Lots of the soft blooming is still there, which is attractive.
It looks really nice, actually.
Yeah,
It's unusual.
Yeah.
Initially, as you say, you think that it's not the right shape, but
Yeah.
it's definitely intentionally meant to be like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the most attractive we've had so far. Would you say?
Agree. Yeah. I'd probably go a 9 on that. I think that's definitely the nicest one we've seen, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly looks excuse me, a rustic type, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Real conversation starter.
Yeah, well, I think if you're, like us, where we're looking at lots of cheeses, you instantly think of something's gone wrong with that, don't you, Alan? I know that's not the right way to think of it. But then when you actually look at it in detail, that is actually the design. So,
Inside, there's a bit of openness there.
Feels a bit
Okay.
heavy.
Open texture there, and not, started to break down, but perhaps the cheeses. I mean, the cheese has been out of the fridge for about an hour now, but perhaps if it was left out for a bit longer, you would get more of a breaking down there. But looks quite attractive.
Almost looks like a sort of gaperon style, but
Yeah.
without
But
the.
in terms of appearance, did you say 9 for appearance on that, Nikki?
Yeah, it's 9 on appearance.
Yeah. And would you still give it a 9 given the look of the inside?
Well, I guess the inside is perhaps brings it back to an 8. Do you think?
Yes, I agree. Yes, yeah.
Feels much.
Hello.
It's when you're cutting through it. There's definitely sort of tension on the knife, isn't there? It's definitely a lot harder in the middle. It's not as soft and squidgy as some of the ones we've tasted.
Yeah.
So far. It's a nice milky sort of smell.
Mm.
You are getting a mania of the rind, aren't we? A little bit, not that much.
No, but it is present though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Or was that a soft ammonia?
yeah. But it's not. It's probably not actually giving that much smell, is it? Not that much aroma is coming from the cheese.
No,
Probably
and
lacking
again, I suppose you might get more of it if it was broken down a bit more, if it had been left out of the fridge for longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me, aroma maybe a 5 or 6 aroma.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'd go 5 actually. I think it's lacking a little bit.
I'm good with that. Yes, 5. And then texture is quite a springy cheese. You say there is resistance on the knife.
Yeah.
Quite chalky inside, but that is the style of some soft cheeses, isn't it?
Mm.
And you are seeing, some of the breaking down there, and you're closer to the rind, which is attractive.
It feels like it needs a bit more sort of luxurious kind of creaminess to it, doesn't it? As opposed to it's quite dry on the palate.
Yes, the rind is definitely crispy, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely crispy.
And a bit gritty as well, I think.
Yeah, all right. I think it really lets it down.
Yeah. Score for texture. 6, do you think?
Yeah, 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be happy with 6.
It's 6.
Yeah, and then flavour. I mean, it's not fantastic flavour for a cheese.
It's really quite bitter. Overriding sort of bitterness, which hits you quite quickly, doesn't it?
I mean, there is a slight ammonia on the rind, but I wouldn't have said it was overly so. Salt levels, I think, are balanced.
It's quite a harsh taste, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's not a pleasant taste, is it? That's left in your mouth. I don't think.
Oh gosh.
I know, harsh. Sorry.
I thought so. Yeah. I wouldn't have said it was unpleasant, but I wouldn't have said it was particularly attractive. Not one that you'd want to, a lot of cheese that you want to go back to on the cheese board, certainly.
Yeah, I'm quite bitter sensitive, so so I think that's why I'm picking it up quite. And it's probably a lot stronger for me. It's a real shame because I think it's a really lovely looking cheese, and I think with a bit of work, it could be, it could move forward quite a long time, couldn't it?
Yeah, it would certainly look different on a cheese board with the dome top.
I don't think the shape is the problem. I don't think the shape.
No.
I don't think that's impeding what they're doing.
But you said it's got potential. That's what you meant. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, with some work, I think this could be a really good cheese.
Yeah. So in terms of flavour, I mean, I would give it a 6, not a high mark. But would you think that's too high?
I'm probably more in the 5 count.
Shall we compromise 5.5? 5.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just recapping for you guys. Appearance, you've gone 8, aroma 5, excuse me, texture 6, and flavour 5.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. We could then go for E1180, please.
Got it. Yeah. And in terms of appearance, this is a lovely bloomy specimen. Lots of white and very even colouring around there.
It's
Nothing.
really even balanced.
Yeah.
Feels a bit soft.
Yeah. No, I don't think that hasn't gone too far. I think it's a very attractive cheese. Very uniform.
It looks nice. Well presented.
And then cutting into, it's very golden inside. Signs of breaking down there, close to the rind.
Again, downwards, Alan. That's oh, nice.
And
Quite a big section in the middle, hasn't it?
yeah, still looks like it's ready and it's at optimum maturity. So very attractive. Perhaps a golden colour there. Perhaps a bit of Jersey milk in there. Do you think?
Yeah, I would think possibly. Yeah, and very, very thin rind, isn't it? I mean, that's impressive how thin that rind looks on the way through. I mean, it really is very, very thin.
Although when we get to the to taste it, it might be quite a crispy one to look at it. So in terms of appearance, I think it's very attractive. Give it a high score. I would give it an 8.
Yeah, agree. High score, 8. Aroma.
Nice mushroom aroma there, isn't there?
Definitely getting the mushroom coming through, aren't you? And perhaps a little bit of cabbage as well. Yeah, it's got really nice aroma. Really strong aroma, actually. I think that's going to be a decent score on aroma. 8 easily, do you think?
Yeah, I'd be happy with a 9.
9, yeah.
Happy with a 9. Yeah.
You expand a little bit on the aroma of the paste, guys. I mean, all I picked up so far was lovely mushroomy aroma, which I'm guessing is from the rind.
There's a creaminess, it's sort of milkiness coming off the centre as well. I think it's it's got a lot more aroma than the last couple of cheeses that we've sort of had, sort of more sort of cheesy.
Yeah, very
overriding sort of mould or ammonia, hasn't it?
very buttery aroma internally, I would say, the paste.
Yeah.
Texture is very smooth.
The internal texture is very smooth. You are right. That rind is slightly crispy, isn't it?
Very, very malleable, I think.
Some quite nice contrasting textures, aren't there? The middle, the runny, and the rind. They all kind of work alongside each other really nicely. It's a nice piece of cheese.
Yeah, definitely a crispy rind, isn't there?
But it does work sort of alongside the other parts of the cheese.
You happy with a 7 on texture, Nikki?
Sorry?
A 7 on texture, do you think?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you score it higher, guys, just out of interest?
I think it's the rind for me, like a softer rind.
It does eat as 3 separate things almost. Whilst they do work together alongside each other, you can quite distinctly take them apart, can't you?
Yeah.
If you're going to judge something as perfect, it would be as one, wouldn't it?
That's my piece of rind.
Alan's just
Yes. It doesn't take very much, does it, for it to come on?
I mean, it hasn't gone so far to have slip coat or anything, but you can see, yeah, it's well broken down. Yeah, so texture, I'll be happy with a 7, I think. And then flavour. I mean, flavour's all right. You know, it's certainly not a wow cheese, I don't think, for me.
Agree. I think it's quite middle of the road. It's not offensive. It's quite nice. It's quite pleasant. Kind of Saturday sort of lunchtime kind of cheese, really.
Yeah.
Is it buttery? Is it tech?
It's slightly buttery, but it's not got
yeah.
masses to it.
Yes, it is buttery. It's buttery. There's a chalkiness coming through, which is nice, but I wouldn't have said there was a lot of flavour to that, really. It's definitely middle of the road. I'd give it a 7.
Yeah, very middle of the road, I would say as well.
Just bear with me.
Pleasant cheese, isn't it? Not a wow cheese.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm recapping for you. We had 8 for appearance, 9 for aroma, 7 for texture, and 7 for flavour.
Yeah, happy with that.
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay, on to our penultimate cheese in this one. We're looking at E1 1195.
Okay, so it's in a box.
Yeah, so this one, I mean, as soon as you open the box, you get that strong, pungent aroma coming straight at you there, and it was covered in plastic, and I just wondered if that's made just the cheese go too far. I mean, you can see and if you can see the indentation in the cheese there, so it has very much.
And also the cheese is sort of sat down, so to speak. So it's much, it's bulging much more at the top than the bottom. Yeah. So
yeah, it's been left in the box, hasn't it? Just
left in the box and not turned. Yeah, looks that way anyway. It's definitely got a lot of scent to it.
Yeah,
a lot of character.
Oh, sorry,
a lot of aroma to it. It's got a lot of character, I'd say. It's quite strong, very, very strong ammonia.
Yeah, and the base seems very, very dry. The way it's sort of just been left to sit, and you can see the way the cheese is sunk. I don't know. Can you see the shape of the cheese there? It's much wider at the bottom than it is at the top, and then the cheese is sunk in there, so it feels very dry around the outside, very uneven in terms of appearance, and discolored.
It's quite sticky, isn't it?
Yeah.
On the rind, it's quite sticky.
Lots of discoloration there, so externally it doesn't look particularly attractive, although it is packaged in a box, which is nice. So again, there's lots of discoloration there. Can you see that heavy browning towards the edge there?
Yeah, I've got a little bit of that on mine as well. Yeah. So it's consistent throughout. I mean, it is mature all the way through. Actually, there is a bit of a core.
Yeah, there is a core there. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it now. It looks
Tilt
like
it down, Alan. That's it.
Can you see
it looks like it's almost mature, but it actually hasn't. It's quite a lot of holes running through mine as well. Have you got lots of holes running through? Which you'd expect the curd to be slightly closer together than that. Okay, so appearance. 7? 6?
You know, I'd be happy to give it a 7 because I don't know, and that sort of quirkiness, it looks quite attractive, doesn't it?
It doesn't look like it's completely wrong. Yeah. Aroma.
Yeah, aroma on the nose, just gone too far really on aroma.
Yeah.
Lots of ammonia, and you can nearly.
It's very, very pungent and very, very high on the ammonia.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to go more like a 5, do you think?
5 or even a 4 from me, I think.
4. Crikey, Alan.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, 4. Let's go 4.5.
4.5, okay. Texture.
The texture looks quite nice at the on the edge there, but let's taste it, see what it tastes like.
It's certainly not balanced. You've got the rind is quite sticky in the palate, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. It's very pungent. The texture it's not smooth, is it? It's not like some of the other cheeses that we've been tasting that have been really creamy on the mouthfeel and that really nice sort of like coverage of your mouth. This is very much a paste, isn't it? Really. That has a lot of strength in flavour. I guess it's smooth, but I think we're sort of low marks again, really, aren't we, on this?
Yeah. I would give it a 5 really for texture, and then just not good general mouthfeel. So there is smoothness in the paste, but externally there's a lot. It's just quite a hard eat, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very strong, very pungent.
And the rind is gritty. I mean, there's no two ways about that.
It's all coming off that, isn't it? I mean, it's overtly bitter for me. I'm really struggling with.
You get that coming through in the flavours on the back, those back.
Yeah, I'm really, that's really quite strong for me.
What was that, the ammonia?
The sort of bitterness that's coming off the rind is really, really slightly off-putting, to be fair, for me, because I'm quite bitter sensitive.
Yeah, which we could put under the flavour section.
Yeah.
But in terms of texture, I mean, perhaps a 5.
Agree.
Yeah. And then flavour.
I mean, I would put that as a 4 personally. I know it's exceptionally harsh, but it really is very, very strong, very pungent, and quite bitter for me. Sorry.
Yeah, I can't add anything to that, I don't think.
I feel bad.
No, I think you're right.
Are we going for 4 or 4.5?
Yeah, 4.
Can I recap that one for you then, guys? We're looking at 7 for appearance, 4.5 for aroma, 5 for texture, and 4 for flavour.
Yeah. Just going to get some apple, I think.
Yeah.
Worries. I'll pause the recording, guys, and then you can grab whatever you need. And finally, on to our last cheese in this class. We're looking at E11198, which we're not entirely certain it's in the right class, but we're going to judge it anyway.
Yeah, this doesn't appear to be white mould cheese, but as you say,
do you mind just holding it up to the screen just so everybody can? It's very much like a cloth bound.
Yeah, hard cloth bound cheese, which we do feel should be probably in another category.
Yep. Just in case the maker for some reason thinks it should be in this one. we're just going to judge it, and it's probably a very tasty looking cheese, to be honest with you.
Yeah, add a bit of difference to the category. Yeah, so it's definitely been cloth bound, hasn't it? It's it looks like it's part of a cheese. Do you think? Because the
yeah.
two sides look like they've been cloth bound, but then the top doesn't, does it?
Yeah, taken from a small truckle.
Yeah, the small section.
Yeah, so yeah, although just perhaps hasn't been turned, and therefore that hasn't got the same level of mould on the underside as the top, perhaps.
Yeah.
But certainly, for a cloth bound cheese, certainly attractive.
Yeah, it looks nice. Just not even because of that, really, is it?
Yeah.
One side's just off. So what would you score it on appearance? I'm actually going to cut these down because it looks, it's sort of almost, because it's been in the back, sort of got that sort of packaged look to it. So you can't necessarily see the texture. It's much more open, actually, when you
Would you mind holding it up to the screen, Nikki, just so we can?
Yeah, so if you're seeing the back, it's much more sort of smooth and silvery, whereas now we've cut it up, you can see the texture a bit better.
Yeah.
So we've got some mould ingress in there on either end, which is not necessarily a fault, but I think just adds to the attractive appearance of the cheese. Nice golden paste internally.
Yeah, it does look a nice colour, doesn't it? I think texture-wise, what are you thinking? Sort of 7, perhaps?
Well, we haven't done appearance yet, have we?
Appearance, sorry, I'm not meaning texture. Appearance, 7. Sorry.
Yeah, or higher, because as a cloth bound, it's quite attractive, I think. So I'd go an 8, or even perhaps a bit higher on that.
Well, I think 8.
8,
Yeah,
okay.
8. Texture is very soft, isn't it? Very selective.
It is uneven texturally. I mean, there's a bit of weakness in the body of that.
It's quite tacky, isn't it, and quite sticky.
Yeah, we haven't done aroma yet, have we?
No.
Aroma's pleasant enough on the nose. I mean, it's
not masses coming from it, but yeah, you're right. There's a nice sort of almost a buttery kind of smell coming from it.
It's that earthy cellar aroma, like a woodland floor you're getting nearly, isn't there?
Yeah, it smells quite nice.
Yeah, I quite like that, actually.
There's no off notes, are there?
No. I would go high on that, maybe 8. I could be pushed to a 9 on aroma.
Yeah, actually, I think I'd probably be quite happy with a 9. I think it's got a lot going on, hasn't it? It's quite a bit of complexity in it.
Yeah. 9 it is. And then texture, I mean, I've worked some of my fingers here, and I've got lumpy bits in the middles, which is not great.
I've just got it like a pure. It's just pure.
Yeah.
Almost like blue tack, really. Very sticky, very tacky, but yeah, weak-bodied for sure. If we're breaking it down that easily. In fact, it's just where you do it in the where you take it from.
I've got a second piece, and that's lumpy, so this one hasn't broken down either. There's a lump in there.
Actually, this piece has got a lump in it. So that one was very, very smooth, and this one's much more lumpy. So the texture then is, well, much more in the kind of lower end of things, sort of
5.
5, yeah.
5, yeah. 5. And then flavour is very lactic, isn't it?
Oh, so a lot more strength to it.
Mm-hmm.
As well. There's quite a bit going on, isn't there?
Mm. There's a nice level of maturity in there.
Yeah, and it's nicely. I mean, the salt balance seems quite even.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not a bad piece of cheese. Nice.
Buttery, it's creamy, well balanced in terms of salt levels. It is pleasant, you know, I do quite like it. Thinking a 7, perhaps.
Yeah, I think with a nice cracker, it's quite a nice biscuit, isn't it?
Yeah. Be happy with that.
For a try.
You're not happy with a 7 on that, Nikki?
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think that works well.
I'm going to recap those scores for you. Appearance 8, aroma 8, texture 5, and flavour 7.
Works very well with the charcoal biscuit.
Those things do. It's my favourite biscuit. Okay, so I can announce that the winner of this class, White Mould E1, is cheese E1 1041.
Oh, first one, wow. Okay.
Yeah. This is the winning cheese. Go back to the beginning. That was a nice cheese, wasn't it?
I certainly seem to like it. So that cheese, E1041, will be going through to our live category finals on Tuesday, the 10th of June, and hopefully also onto our grand final on Wednesday, the 11th, when we will be revealing the very best of British cheeses, along with our awards that recognise the incredibly talented and passionate people in the British cheese industry. We will culminate the day on the 11th of June with the award of our Supreme Champion. I'd like to thank Butlers for providing us with our lovely aprons again for this year. Thank you for 5 years in a row of support from them. And also a huge welcome to Millers and their fantastic cracker sponsorship this year with their amazing range of crackers. It's been an absolute pleasure judging with Nikki and Alan today. Thank you for all your insight. And we shall be moving on to the next class.